Well, I do like what we have here on our team from a standpoint of we got poke, we've got AoE control, and we do have sustainable damage from Jace and partly from Kennen. We have a little bit of the AoE CC, but what we really don't have in this kind of case is sustain. We do have long range poke to counter Xerath, but not something that's quite as bursty. Ziggs and Jace are a little more leaning towards the sustained damage rather than just full wipe burst that Xerath is going to have. So that's going to be interesting, plus the fact that they have a true AD carry in Ashe with plenty of support around it with the Shen, the Kayle, and the Nami. So things are going to get interesting a little bit there, but hopefully going to be able to eliminate some kind of thing. But they can really be able to protect the Kayle with this kind of comp that they have. It's going to be a matter of how effective is Nasus going to be able to drop the Wither on the proper target, how effective we're going to be to really focus the damage on the right people and rotate it around in the fights when that Kayle comes through, or different things like that, and are we going to be able to kind of limit the impact that Xerath's going to have in the game from being that long-range nuke capacity. We do have a counter initiation for them trying to fight us on a spot, but they're not the team that's not necessarily going to try and do that. So that doesn't really fit for us as much as it would. They're just different things we're going to have to look for and try and take advantage of.
You should not defy nature.
He's just got a little bit more poke with the Jace, Ziggs, Maokai, Kennen than you would have from like Ashe, Xerath. Nami's not necessarily a poke. Kayle also not quite as much poke oriented. And I was talking and I did not realize they had already gotten finished because I took a little bit long to buy as well again today. Or this time.
Was not meant to be.
Luckily, I should be able to rack up the gold with these saplings here. If I can get this auto attack off. The thing that's going to hurt a little bit is their engage is definitely a lot more solid from a standpoint of being able to engage from a longer distance. So what we're going to have to be looking for there is really the counter engage. Being able to take what they basically withstand that first initial CC and be able to drop something on and take advantage of them being in that close fights. And several of our players do have a little bit more on that. If I can keep racking up this gold though with the crossing. Oop, there's a first blood with the sapling. That helps a lot. Nope, not quite. Aimed it to the right. Oh, and there's the pickoff. Oh, and there's sapling. Yep. I was actually not going to chase him, but he actually just barely ended up walking. Really being able to generate a lot of these picks in these early kills because they're not exactly together. So there's not a lot of follow-up on that first initiation. which is exactly what they need to be doing in order to get this working properly. But if it doesn't chain well, then they don't really have that sustain poke. They do have a little bit more sustained damage having that 8 carry once they're able to hands like that later into the game, but not early on. So that's going to hurt them, just not being able to really get those solid engages out. Where one person goes in, but nobody's really following it up with them. Nope, and there's that. Right now this is just being the poke differential, and the sustain's not really coming into play as much. Because they're not really being able to dodge any of the pokes that's going down. Oh, you stole that. Pretty bad. I don't mind. Looks like Nasus is actually playing AP, not tank here. So we can actually take advantage of this because I'm doing kind of the same thing. So if Nimu can actually, this not going to necessarily be a problem early on because we actually can scale that and use that to take advantage of it. Oh, that's the kind of mission. Oh, but she backed up. She had the double kill there. Kill had the double, but for some reason backed off of it. So that is actually very, very interesting. They could have easily gotten 3 kills out of that, because that was kind of something they needed. It was actually a counter initiation off my own initiation. I think the early game not necessarily going away is probably going to play a little bit too timid. The thing is, both Nasus and I have the Frostfang, so we're actually racking up quite a bit of gold right now. Oh, not quite. That was very good, actually. The ult from Kale was a little bit early, but the follow-up was actually right. And that's exactly what their comp is going to need to be doing, is following up on each other's moves. So that execution was actually right.
Hand over the gold. Bring me back.
So we've got a bit more margin for error when it comes to not necessarily executing things perfect. But if they execute what they want to, it's cool. And Ken, unfortunately, does not quite have the damage for that yet, but the fall from Nasus helps. I'm just gonna go for it. And I didn't get it. Oh well. Yeah, frame rate dropped a little bit there. That's the bad thing about those long range results is they're very, very slow. Without going into that, thought better of it. there's not really that much need for us to force too much right here. If we play it patient, we'll be fine. Oh, that was beautiful.
Enemy double kill.
And that,
Enemy
not so
double
much.
kill.
We already got about 500 gold from the Frost Fang.
This life was not meant to be.
It's not bad. Nope, not quite the range on that. Yeah, I got a free 8 gold from that. Well, not quite free. I had to burn a little bit of mana, but right now that's pretty much what I'm doing. I got a lot of ages. Oh, and there's the... Oh! At least the cost. Zig's passing for that kill. Oh, I'm not gonna get out. Alright.
An enemy has been slain.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and get the Frostmoon's Flame.
Executed.
Problem is we don't want... We're getting this at next where people are getting a little bit kill happy. Especially with some of the build and itemization choices we're making right now. We don't necessarily want to extend that out too far. We do have some good late game champions, but Nasus is not really building that late game, he's building that AP. That's only going to work for really so long, whereas they do have the 80 carry. So if we get caught up in trying to make this into a kill fest, that's really going to start hurting us. There it is. That's better. Not the greatest execution there, but we'll take it. That's a little bit of the gold lead at work right there. Sloppier fight, but a good start to it. And I probably should use my Frostmoon's Flame there, but I won't. How long would cooldown do that? Adds in 60 seconds cooldown, okay. Not quite fast enough to just dodge away from that. Alright. So the problem with that Xerath early on here is the fact that a lot of what we have really doesn't allow for you to lock down to that and be able to get away with it. Ooh, the double kill with the ult. Really need to remember to use my cross-mix plan. Nope. Not quite. Thought I had it. Wasn't even close. Alright, so... Got quite a few gold off from what I really want to get here. Yeah, so I'll go into revitalize as we go.
This life was not meant to
One thing you see in this game that's actually quite a constant is one team ends up putting a lot of pressure, and the other team really doesn't have much of an answer. I mean, they might have something in their comp that allows them to be able to answer it. They have the tools to do so, but they don't really have the synergy or togetherness to be able to control it all. Unfortunately, once they've found that, they really don't have the gold disparity just really doesn't allow them to really do much. How much gold have I got? Okay. Not quite 1,000 yet. Getting there. There's Nami ults. Not really over successful. There's the kind of initiation that they did. Oh, the Ash follow up there would have been huge. Being able to pick off one more there. Really would have had a shot to puncture this turret, but the miss on the Ash arrow really doesn't give them enough. Unless one of us gets picked off right here, unnecessarily. And this is the thing that was going to happen if the game lasted too long. They're starting to scale into things. They're starting to scale into power. The gold lead is less of a factor. There's still a sizable lead, but because of where the comps are and everything, that's unnecessary. Especially not if you don't even end up actually getting the turret. Oh, I thought I was not sustaining. Again, couple of really not that necessary execution. not really puncturing any, really doing any damage to these Nexus turrets here, which is really exactly what we need to be doing. For the people that are going to be really those turret pushers, keep suicide into those Nexus turrets. So that's leaving us with not really much we can do with that in terms of being able to actually address all those turrets, get towards the end of the game. Leaving things very, very stagnant, which is not going to work at all. Because if you keep it staying out the game too long, this is exactly what's going to happen. You basically just gave up between two turrets by suiciding there and not being the other, giving them the opportunity. So this game could easily just fall back because needless suicides and trying to turn this game into a kill match. League of Legends is never designed to be a Slayer match.
An enemy has been slain.
I'm gonna try to flash this. No. Save it. We do really need to start getting on these swords though. There's that big off. We got a little bit too much focus on the shell now. Interrupt the shin. Oh. Yes. A little bit sloppy. Oh, there we go. And there we go. Still quite a bit sloppy at the end there, but not necessarily suicide, so able to close it out. Just barely quick enough. Again, don't want to make those games last too long if you're still concerned about actually being satisfied with the result, because there are teams that are going to come back on you in a hurry if ARAM, if you let them build into it. So always be careful with that.